So I wonder if they're going to increase funding for women who give childbirth because like 30 women die in childbirth, white women, with 70 women dying in childbirth for every 100,000 births. So if you're gonna force women to give birth, you need to have better healthcare access for them, as well as better, you know, WIC programs and stuff like that so that these women can take care of the kids they're being forced to have.
Well, today, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds is expected to sign a new bill into law, abortion bill rather, which bans the procedure after about 6 weeks of pregnancy. She'll do it during an evangelical forum that several 2024 Republican presidential candidates plan to attend, underlining the importance of the abortion battle in the GOP campaign. CBS News political correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns is in Des Moines covering the candidates. Caitlin, good morning.
Protests broke out at the Iowa State Capitol this week after lawmakers passed a 6-week abortion ban. The legislation includes exceptions for rape, incest, life of the mother, and fatal fetal abnormalities.
Big day.
Republican Governor Kim Reynolds is set to sign it into law Friday at the annual Family Leadership Summit. Many of the Republican presidential hopefuls will also be there to woo evangelical voters and are heaping praise on the popular governor.
Well, Governor Kim Reynolds is one of the most remarkable individuals in the country, and she is one of the strongest governors her state and any state has ever seen.
I want to just let everyone up there know how much I respect what your governor and the legislature have done with passing the heartbeat bill. That was a big victory for life.
But the current frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, is not. Instead, he recently lashed out at the governor for not endorsing him, posting, "I opened the governor position for Kim Reynolds, and when she fell behind, I endorsed her. Now she wants to remain neutral." Trump is also choosing to opt out of an Iowa tradition by skipping Friday's GOP candidate forum.
I believe he is making a mistake.
Bob Vanderplatz is an influential Iowa evangelical leader whose organization is hosting the event.
You can thank the former president for all the good things he did in his administration when he was elected to the presidency in 2016. But 2024 is not 2016. They want someone who can win, but that would be a fresh vision, fresh generation. I think he's our biggest risk, though, to not win back the White House.
And Anne-Marie, also joining today's forum is former Fox News host Tucker Carlson. He's going to be questioning the candidates on stage, and many of them have kind of struggled to navigate the issue of abortion after the fall of Roe v. Wade, but they've found familiar footing here in Iowa. And we should also note that here in Iowa, legal challenges have already been filed against that new ban to try to block it from being enforced.
So, in the lead up, I said this is, an indication of how important abortion is to the 2020 election, but I think also an indication of how important the evangelical vote is to candidates. Can you talk to me a little bit about this Family Leadership Summit? Why is it a place where all these candidates want to show up? Is it interesting or impactful that Trump's not there?
Yeah, Anne-Marie, there are about 2,000 evangelical voters that are expected to be at this event, and they play an outsized role in these.
It's always gross seeing large groups of right-wing religious nuts gathering somewhere, knowing that they're all just crazy bigots.
Caucuses extremely influential and actually helped Donald Trump in 2016 in the general election, even though he didn't win the caucuses here. And the leader that we spoke to said that Trump is missing an opportunity to talk directly to these voters who are going to be very influential in deciding who comes out of Iowa.
It's always funny when religious people who claim to be against abortions always want an abortion when their mistress gets knocked up. These same people that are, pro-family and all about sacred marriages, they're all cheating on their wives. Look at Lone Bobert, who is supposed to be a family, family gal, all about religious values, yet she was cheating on her husband and banging married men. These religious right-wingers are just liars.
as the winner of the caucuses. Now, you're going to have several candidates here, Nikki Haley, Tim Scott, Mike Pence, and others. Many of them are really, DeSantis as well, of course, are really hoping that Iowa is the place that provides an alternative to Donald Trump. And this is a place, as you well know, where you can meet voters one-on-one in living rooms, in small, intimate gatherings, but also have FaceTime with key people who are going to be making these decisions.
So I think it's really interesting that Iowa is a place where this particularly rigid abortion law is being passed. It's an early state, as you know, and I wonder if in a campaign like this, if starting things off in a place like Iowa sort of forces the candidates to be very clear on where they stand when it comes to abortion.
Well, Bob Vanderplatz told us that these evangelical voters are going to want to hear clarity on where these candidates stand, especially when it comes to federal restrictions. As you know, and as we've covered, these are candidates who have kind of struggled to define positions on what role the federal government should have while they're out there campaigning. But here in Iowa, they seem to be more comfortable talking about that issue because of Kim Reynolds' support for this ban and because of the evangelical opposition to abortion. We see that in polling time and again. So here in Iowa, they talk about the issue a little more openly and more comfortably than they do in New Hampshire or some of these other states. But lots of voters here at this forum will be watching to see exactly how these candidates answer. Someone like Mike Pence has really taken the most forward approach in embracing this as an issue, and we'll see if other candidates kind of follow suit as they're here in Iowa.